morning students, Jai Swaminarayan. Today students, we are going to do exercise 15.3 question number 4 and 5. Now students, all of you please pay attention. Exercise 15.3 question 4. Now students, the goals scored by Team A in a football match season is given, and for Team B the mean is 2 goals and standard deviation is 1.25 goals. Then which team is more consistent or which team is more stable in terms of percentage? Students, we have to decide which team is more consistent and which team is more stable. So what we will do, we will find CV. We write CV for Team A. First of all, students, we will find, you can say mean, and then students we will find standard deviation, and then students correspondingly we will check that which team is more consistent. Now I wrote down Xi and Fi. Xi is number of goals and Fi is matches 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This total is not required. Frequency is 19753. 19753. Total of frequency 10 and 7, 17. 17 and 8, 25. Now students, as a revision. Now students, as a revision, we will go by direct methods to make the columns of Fi xi and Fi xi square 0, 9, 14, 15, 12. And Fi xi square is Fi xi into xi is 0 into 0 is 0, 9, 28, 45 and 48. Okay students, now if I total, this total comes to 50 and this total is 130. So first of all, I find out mean x bar is equal to sigma Fi xi divided by n. So this comes out to be 50 divided by 25, so 2 volts. Then standard deviation sigma is equal to 1 by n under root of n into summation Fi xi square minus sigma Fi xi the whole square. So 1 by 25 into under root of 25 into 130 minus 50 the whole square. And simplifying this turns out to be 1.09. Now we write and find out CV, which is sigma upon x bar into 100. Sigma is 1.09 upon 2 into 100. So this is 54.5%. Same way, I operate CV for TB. There this value of CV will be again sigma upon x bar into 100, 1.25 upon 2 into 100. So this comes out to be 62.5%. So Team A has less CV of A less than CV of B. So Team A is stable or consistent in performance. That is what we have to basically understand. So whenever there is a criteria or whenever there is a condition for performance is always students decided on the basis of CV. that is coefficient of variation. Now students, we will go for sum number 5 and complete the exercise students. Sum number 5. Now all of you please concentrate and try to understand the data for the fifth sum. X denotes the length and Y denotes the weight in kg for 50 saplings in a nursery. So here we write X is length in centimeter and Y is weight in grams. This is students for saplings. Now students concentrate. We are given the data of summation. Now summation xi, it is from 1 to 50 and that is how much? 212. And summation xi square is 902.8. Then summation y is 261 and summation yi square is 1457.6. Now students, we have to decide that out of length and the weight, which variable students has out of length and weight x and y, which variable has more variation. First of all, this is input data and number of observations are 50. So I operate mean x bar is equal to summation xi upon n 212 upon 50. So this is 4.24. And here also n is same 50. If I operate y bar, that is summation y upon n 261 divided by 50, and that turns out to be 5.2. Now students, I find standard deviation and I am using this formula, summation xi square upon n minus x bar square by x suffix x. Students, why this particular formula? Students, why this particular formula? Because mean is not an integer. So this turns out to be under root of 902.8 upon 5015 minus 4.24 the whole square, and this is simplified as 0.28. Then students, same way we operate sigma y, which is under root of summation yi square upon n minus y bar square, and this is under root of 1457.6 upon 50 minus 5.22 the whole square. And students, this comes out to be, you can say 1.38. Now students, as said, based on variance also, this variance of x will be less than variance of y, so y has more variation. That way also we can do, or just find out c, sigma x upon x bar into 100. Sigma x is 0.28 upon 4.24 into 100, and this answer comes out to be 6.6%. And here CV will be sigma y upon y bar into 100. So 1.38 upon 5.22 into 100. This is simplified as 26.45%. So CV of y greater than CV of x. So y is more variable, weight has more variation. So this is how students we simplify and write the answer. So students, weight has more variation than length x. Even based on variance also students we could have decided. So this completes students our exercise 15.3. Now students, we are going to do exercise number 15. Now students, in the 15th exercise students, the most important, in the 15th exercise students, the most important results, those results we are going to discuss first, and then students we are going to start the exercise. Now what are important results which you have to remember, and these are very important for JEE means. Students, the reduced syllabus is already out, and for your information, this chapter 15 is kept in total. This chapter 15 we have to do full, and trust me, this is very easy chapter, and students, it is very important for JEE means. Now suppose you have unknown data observations xi, which are x1, x2, x3 up to say xn, n is countable. Now students, if I add or subtract a non-zero constant k is added or subtracted from xi, new observations are, you can say new xi will be x1 plus or minus k, x2 plus or minus k, x3 plus or minus k up to xn plus or minus k. Then what will be the new mean and what will be the new standard deviation? This set of observation has mean x bar and standard deviation c. Let us say the ungrouped data observations x1, x2, x3 up to xn are given, n is countable by default, and this observation has mean as x bar and standard deviation as sigma. Now if I add k to every observation, the new mean I write x bar n will be x bar plus k, and if I subtract k from every observation, then new mean x bar n will be x bar minus k, where standard deviation remains the same. Standard deviation remains the same. So on adding or subtracting a non-zero constant k from every observation xi, students, on adding or subtracting non-zero constant k from every observation xi, mean changes but standard deviation remains the same. So this is very important. You have to memorize this. Now suppose we multiply non-zero constant k, then new observations xi will be this: kx1, kx2, kx3 up to say kxn. Then students, new mean will be k times the old mean, and new standard deviation will be mod k times old standard deviation. Why I wrote mod? Students, I can multiply by a positive number as well as a negative number, and according to the definition, standard deviation is positive. So we multiply mod. Suppose we divide every xi by a non-zero constant k, then new observations are xi, which is equal to x1 upon k, x2 upon k, x3 upon k, up to xn upon k. So the new standard deviation, what will be new mean? The answer is x bar upon k. Of course, k not equal to 0, and new standard deviation will be old divided by mod k. Again, we can divide either by positive values or by negative value. This results you have to accept without proof, and remember the students, these are one of the most important results for JEE mains. Now let us do a few sums based on this, students. You have to perfectly memorize these results. Now we will start with fourth sum, then we will do third sum, students. Sum number 3 and 4, students, are basically on this particular results. Write this results 5 times. These are very, very important. Sum number 4 of exercise 15. For n observations x1, x2 up to xn, mean is x bar and variance is sigma square. So given observations xi are x1, x2, x3 up to xn. Mean is written as x bar and sigma square is variance. So standard deviation would be sigma. Now we multiply a non-zero constant A with every observation. So multiplying A to every observations xi. New observations are ax1, ax2, ax3 up to axn. So we will apply result number 3. If we multiply non-zero constant, the new observations are kx1, kx2. We will not do the formal proof, students. So new mean x bar n would be a to original mean, and new standard deviation. New standard deviation sigma n will be mod a times old, and variance will be a square into original variance sigma square. When I square, I did not write mod because square is a positive value. Students, when I square, mod a square is simply written as a square because square is always a positive value, students. So here we will not go for formal proof. Now first, 6 observation has mean and standard deviation as 8 and 4. Students, I am doing sum number 3. 6 observations, so n is equal to 6. Their mean is 8. X bar is equal to 8. Standard deviation is 4. So of course variance will be 16. If each observation is multiplied by 3, so our k is equal to 3. So we are going to still apply this result. New mean x bar n will be k times original mean. So 3 into 8, 24. New standard deviation will be mod k times original standard deviation, mod 3 into 4. So this is 12. For this much, students, you will get 3 marks in your theory part. So students, this is going to be very easy, and this is very interesting also. So students, I request you to memorize these results and write these results at least 3 times. Now students, we are doing sum number 1 and 2 of exercise 15. Then students, we will conclude. The remaining sums we will do in the next lecture. Now students, I am doing sum number 1 and 2. These questions are repeated questions in geometry units. We are given 8 observations with mean 9 and variance 9.25. N is equal to 8, mean x bar is equal to 9, variance is equal to 9.25. Given 6 observations are 6, 7, 10, 6, 7, 10, 12, 12 and 13. And suppose the required 2 observations are A and B. This we have supposed. You can take x, y also. You can take n also. Whatever students you feel convenient. Now students, we have to find 2 unknowns and we have 2 equations. Or we have to develop 2 equations in order to find 2 unknowns. 2 equations are in the form of mean and variance. That is why I have an equation. Now mean xy is summation xi 1n. So x bar is 9. Total this observation 13 plus 13 26 plus 24 15 plus 10 60 plus a plus b upon 8 9 is 72 is equal to 60 plus a plus b. So a plus b is equal to 12. Therefore b equal to 12 minus a. This is our equation number 1. We have carried out an equation in terms of a and b. Now for unknown observation, always we will use this formula of variance. Summation xi square upon n minus xy square. Summation xi square upon n minus xy square. Why? Even though mean is an integer, this formula is allowed. Just for our convenience, when mean is not an integer, we could have gone for this formula. It is fair. Unknown observation, use this. So 9.25 is equal to, now square and add all the observations. 36 plus 49 plus 100 plus 144 plus 144 plus 169 plus a square plus b square. So this is 642 plus a square plus b square. Upon n is 8. X bar is 81. X bar square is 81. Now 9.25 plus 81, 90.25 into 8 will be 642 plus a square plus b square. So this comes out to be 722 minus 642 is equal to a square plus b square. Therefore a square plus b square is equal to 50. Second result. Students, in variable rates, this question was asked. They will give all 4 options which will total to 12. So we cannot, you can say, go only based on options. Substituting 1 into, we get a square plus 12 minus a, the whole square is equal to 80. A square plus 124 minus 24a plus a square minus 80 is equal to 0. Twice a square minus 24a plus 64 is equal to 0. Take 2 common. A square minus 12a plus 42 is equal to 0. 8. 4s are 32, 8 and 4 is 12 add. So a is equal to 4 or 8. Correspondingly b is equal to 8 or 4. So in short, the 2 missing observations. In short, the two missing observations will be 4 and 8 or 8 and 4. Now, a similar sum is sum number 2. Exactly similar. Let us change the data set which is given. Exactly similar. Sum number 2. Only you can say this values changes. We have given 7 observations. We are given 7 observations whose mean is 8 and standard deviation is 16. 7 observations. Given 5 observations are 2, 4, 10, 12, 2, 4, 10, 12 and 14. So same ratios, when I add this, the observations will be 42 plus A plus B. So A is equal to 42 plus A plus B upon 7. Directly students have added, let me all of you know. 2 plus 4, 6 and 10, 16, 16 and 12, 28 and 14. So 42 plus A plus B, so 56 minus 42 is equal to A plus B. So A plus B is equal to 40. So B is equal to 14 minus A. This is result 1. Now, students pay attention. Another we get from variance square and adding all these observations and getting students A square plus B square plus 460. A square plus B square plus 460 upon 7. X bar is 8, so 8 square is 64. So 80 into 7 will be A square plus B square plus 460. So A square plus B square is equal to 100. This is our result number. Same approach, students, we have exactly the same approach in sum number 1. Now students, substituting 1 in 2, we get A square plus 14 minus 8 the whole square is equal to 100. Therefore, A square plus 196 minus 28, A plus A square minus 100 is 0. So twice A square minus 28A plus 96 is equal to 0. Divide by 2. So A square minus 14A plus 48 is equal to 0. 6 is 48. So A minus 6, A minus 8. Therefore, A is equal to 6 or 8. Correspondingly, B is equal to 8 or 6. So students, this type of questions are one of the most important questions. And students, here you have to perfectly understand and then students do the sums. So students, we have completed the major portion of exercise 15. Now the new syllabus for standard 11 has been given by board, and according to the instruction, chapter 15 is considered in total. Chapter 15 students is considered in total. So students, you don't have to worry about the syllabus at present. Your prime concern is to study well for which CAT or JDP, whatever you are doing, and even for boards. So entire syllabus is very useful to you students. terms of knowledge base. So do not take this lightly, students. Whatever we are doing, whatever we have done is perfectly right. And according to the syllabus released by board, this chapter 15 is there in total. So I hope you will enjoy this chapter. You have enjoyed it. Now students, we are left with question 5, 6 and 7. I think those 3 questions we will take in the next lecture. Study this well. Write those important results, students. The important results which I have given, write twice. Adding or subtracting k, mean changes, standard deviation remains same. Standard deviation only changes when you multiply or divide. But according to the definition, standard deviation is always positive. So if you multiply by k, new standard deviation will be mod k into original. And if you divide by k, new standard deviation will be original divided by mod k. Why mod? Because according to definition, answer of standard deviation can never be negative. Check, we have done at least 10 sums based on standard deviation, and you would have come across in none of the sums, students, we have got answer negative. So here we conclude the lecture, students. Remaining questions we will do in the next lecture and complete the chapter. Thank you, students.